I'd better stay.
Well, don't you dare drive off.
All right, Grandma.
Take a number, Gerald. What's all this?
It's an accident, Grandma.
Whose accident?
Well, this girl's.
What girl? Why did she do it? Why wasn't she killed? Anyone as stupid as that? Who is this young female?
Mona Carter's my name, and you, I suppose, are Grandma.
You're not supposed to suppose anything. What are you doing here? I know. She's got designs.
No, she hasn't any designs, Grandma. It was an accident.
She's good looking, isn't she?
Well,
And so you're Grandma, Gerald?
yes, I suppose so. She
Well,
is.
there you are, then. She's got designs. Mr. Grattan, take her number.
I took it, Mrs. Weeks.
Take it again and look at the license.
Now, this is all very unpleasant, miss. I'll have to see your driver's license, please.
But, officer, I didn't know the light was red. You see, I'm colorblind.
Your license, please.
Here you are.
Now, girl, what have you got to say for yourself?
Why, I didn't know it was allowed.
What was allowed?
For anyone to talk but you.
Oh,
But since I have the chance, there's one thing I do want to say to all of you, and that is, goodbye. It was nice running into you.
Oh, look, wait. Don't go through that fence again. Stop.
Dear. All I do is start and stop this car. Well, what is it?
Well, I don't know.
I do, Gerald. Remember what I said about windmills?
what are you two whispering about?
Gerald, do you remember?
Yes. You mean Don Quixote? Windmills?
Yeah.
Two of them, eh?
Well, start with Grandma. You'll never meet a bigger one. Goodbye. And remember about Tilly Specknagel.
Yes. Goodbye.
I never. Why, the young hussy.
Yes. Grandma,
Well, what is it, Gerald?
have we a
Well?
copy of Don Quixote in the house?
Huh?
Darling Alicia.
Jink, stop. You can't do that. You can't kiss me.
Well, I did. And I'm going to again.
Oh, Jink, please. You mustn't.
Oh, why not?
Because I like it so much. It isn't fair to Gerald. It's bad enough I sneaked away for a moonlight ride with you. Oh, I've got to go in now.
Now, listen. If you don't tell that puffed-up ego he's not engaged to you anymore, I'm going to walk in there and kick the
It
little...
isn't Gerald I'm worried about. It's
Grandma
Grandma
Wicks.
Oh, why don't you try to understand? She's been set on my marrying Gerald since I was 16. She's my guardian. I have nothing of my own. If she cuts me off, I have to marry Gerald.
Alicia, are you in love with that Gerald squirt?
Oh, he's not a squirt.
Are you... Look who comes around the mulberry bush, the mulberry...
Who?
It looks like young Master Wicks himself.
Gerald, at this hour? Oh, Jink, better let me go. Bye, darling.
Hey.
What?
Hey, you.
Oh, yes, you're the tractor man.
Yeah, it's kind of dark. How'd you know?
Well, you're sitting on your tractor.
Brilliant.
Is that your car over there?
Down to the last rattle. What about it?
Oh, nothing, except I was going to steal it. Well, I saw you. Now I think I'll just borrow it. I want to pay a visit.
If you'll stay away for a year, you can have it.
Oh, I'll only be gone for the night. Will you rent it then?
How much?
$25.
Okay, it's a deal.
Right, here. And, I say, my man, don't mention it, sorry.
Oh, very well, my good fellow. If you never come back, it'll be too soon.
What?
I said give her plenty of oil, and she'll take you to the top of the world.
Oh, yes. Thanks. That's where I'm going, the top of the world. Whoa-ho!
Now, Mrs. Wicks, please don't get excited. Don't get overwrought. In other words, compose yourself.
Oh, shut up, you idiot. Where's Gerald?
Gerald? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I was coming to that. He's nowhere to be found.
Well, he's got to be found. Don't tell me he can drop from sight in broad daylight.
But they've been over the estate with a curry coat.
Perhaps he's run away.
Oh, stuff and nonsense. What did he want to do that for? Didn't he have everything in the world? And he's been kidnapped. That's what. Well, don't stand about like a brace of nincompoops. Move. Telephone the G-men or whatever their ridiculous names are. Call the police.
Yes, Mrs. Wicks.
Aunt Leona, do you think the girl who broke through the fence yesterday could have anything to do with it?
Hello. Get me the police.
Oh, fiddle-faddle. What earth have you... Alicia, you might be right. Whatever gave you that idea?
Well,
Here's the phone, Mrs. Wicks.
Well, give it to me. Hello. Police. My grandson's been kidnapped. What? Why, I'm Mrs. Leona Wicks. Who did you think I was? No, I haven't any photographs. What does he look like? Well, male, 6'1". Now, look here. Don't give me any of your impertinence. You find my grandson.
sunset that same day, the outskirts of the town of Barrisfield. Gerald drives up to a small garage and honks his horn. Getting no reply, he honks it again. Cecil Hooker, the proprietor, comes out and looks at Gerald with definite annoyance.
There, young feller. I ain't thief. Shall I fill her up?
No, thanks. I'm looking for the Carter residence.
Well, you can take your choice. There's a whole flock of them around here.
Well, the Carter I'm looking for has a daughter.
Well, they all got daughters.
Oh, well, this one's rather nice looking.
Well, why didn't you say so? That there is Professor Carter's gal. Say, if you think she's only kind of nice looking, you'd better get you some cheaters.
Yes, but where'd she live?
Well, you go straight down the street here and you turn to your right at the first road outside of town. Then you sort of dog-leg past the red schoolhouse, and it's a white house there with a picket fence around her.
Oh, picket fence, eh? Well, thanks very much.
You.
Yes. Does a girl by the name of Tilly Sprecknagel live here by any chance?
Right through our fence. I didn't think you had that much nerve.
No? Well, I saw something on the porch that interested me. There was a girl reading on a front porch. Might funny.
Funny. Say, tell me, how did you bust out of that Bastille?
Well, through that hole you made in our fence. I stole Grattan's address book out of his pocket when he was asleep. Now I'll never remember your name or where you are. He never remembers anything anyway, so...
I beg your pardon, my dear, but...
Father, this is Mr. Gerald Beresford Wicks. Gerald and my father, Professor Carter.
How do you do, my boy?
Oh, how do you do, sir? I want to apologize.
Not at all, not at all. Always glad to have Mona's friends drop in.
Oh, I mean, I want to apologize about your fence.
You see, Father, Mr. Wicks had an accident. Something happened with his steering wheel, and he ran through the fence.
Oh, yes, to be sure. How unfortunate. I must apologize to you, Mr.
Wicks?
Mr. Wicks, for
Yes.
the fence being in the way.
Oh.
I can see now that it is a distinct menace to public safety. I shall have it removed.
Don't mind Dad, Gerald. You know he's terrifically famous, aren't you, Dad?
Yes, indeed.
He's a horticulturist. The King of Sweden gave him a medal for, what was that for, Father?
For my study of the cytological detail in the development of the zygota of the Coleochaetae. That reminds me. The lily bulbs that Professor Mannheim sent me from China came in on the 10 o'clock local. They're at the station now. You will pardon my excitement, but these are genuine Tonghwas. Most rare.
Tonghwas, not the Tonghua from Yuankiang Valley? Why, they'll have to be set out immediately, sir.
The perfect specimen sees all those.
What were you saying, my dear?
About the bulbs, Dad. You want me to drive down and get them, don't you?
Would you mind?
Of course not, darling. Come on, Jerry.
Jerry? Oh, me? Yes, of course.
Goodbye, young fellow. I'll have that fence removed first thing.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, Tilly, I must say your father could give Grandma a lesson in how to act when strangers come crashing through their fences.
He could give her lessons in anything.
Say, do you know what you called me back there?
No, what?
Well, you called me Jerry. Would you mind still doing it? See, I've never been called that before.
Why, yes, I'd be glad to. Hello, Jerry.
Oh, hello. Thanks.
Would you like some music, Jerry? The station's still a way off, Jerry.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you an unverified report stating that Gerald Beresford Wicks, heir to the Wicks Utilities and the $30 million estate of the nationally famous eccentric Mrs. Leona Wicks, is missing, feared kidnapped. Young Wicks, known the country over as the perfect specimen, disappeared at an early hour.
I think another station would be better, don't you?
So Grandma Wicks has unleashed the bloodhounds already. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm not going to let myself be hauled back there like a runaway schoolboy. I'm going to stay out as late as I like.
Bravo.
Yes, that Don Quixote. He was the one. Courage. Even if the world laughed at him, he didn't care. Oh, let him laugh at me, too. I don't care either.
Say, Jerry, it may be just head noises, but I think somebody wants to pass.
What?
Hey, that truck's on top of us. Jerry, get off the road. Jerry, that big ape's almost knocked us into a ditch.
What's the idea, punk?
What's your idea, you big chump, trying to run us into that tree?
Say, you can't talk to Pinky like Sal?
All right, down, Clarabella. Now listen. You keep out of this, sister. You wouldn't be the first day my smackdown.
Oh, now look here, my man. You can't speak that way to a lady.
My man, don't you mind, man, me, a stuck-up squirt for 2 cents, I'd pop you in a push.
Well, you're making a big mistake,
Mistake can't step on here.
Jerry, you can't fight him.
Come on.
Well, remember, my man, I didn't want to spar with you.
Spar? Come on, I'll mop up the ground with you.
You know, you ought to keep your chin covered and lead with your left, like this. Sorry I had to do that.
Grandma, I think you've got something there.
I hope I haven't hurt you seriously. I'll help you up.
Piggy, are you hurt?
But you don't sound like you. I'm moited.